Good evening, good morning, wherever you are in this world. Thank you for joining me live. I am so happy to have you on here. If you're watching the replay, please leave me a comment. Say hi. Don't be shy. Don't be shy at all. Hi guys, coming in. If you don't know who I am, first time being here, my name is Novella. I am a kids hair coach. So I coach moms on how to care for their children's natural hair. If you're here for the first time, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're calling from. Let me know where you're watching from. I like to know where you guys are watching or tuning from. So let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in from or watching from. Hey, Jay Williams. Hi, how you guys doing? And happy new year. How rude of me. Happy new year, guys. I hope you had a great Christmas and I hope you are expectant for this new year because I know I sure am expectant. Where are you ladies tuning in from? Let me know. Where are you tuning in from? Hi, Viol. I hope I'm pronouncing your handle right. Where are you tuning from? Let me know. Let me know. Williams J, you are a familiar face. Thank you for tuning in. California. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Adenuga from Croydon, UK. Lovely. Lovely. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So, thank you once again for joining this live session. And if you're watching a replay, thank you for watching. So, on today's live, we are basically going to talk about the real reasons why your little one hates hair days. I'm also going to be talking you through some tips to help you get through this because I know a lot of moms across the world are going through this. They have children who hate getting their hair done, whether it's washing their hair, getting their hair detangled, anything to do with their hair. Once the child knows that it's time to do their hair, they either cry, throw tantrums, they're just not in the mood for anything hair. So on today's live, we are going to talk about it. Let me know in the comments, do you have a child that currently doesn't enjoy getting their hair done? Let me know in the comments. If you do, trust me, you're not the only one. Like I mentioned before, so many parents deal with this issue. They think doing their child's hair is going to be something very simple, very easy, and that their children should cooperate and not be crying, not be throwing tantrums, but they do. But let me know in the comments, are you dealing with anything like this? Hey, thanks for joining. Are you dealing with anything like this? Do you have children who hate getting their hair done? Let me know. I am so curious to know. Let me know if you have any children that hate getting their hair done. Before we even get into it, I want to make a disclaimer. There are some children who are tender-headed. Yes, there are some children who are tender-headed. However, most children are not. Funny enough, I've worked with so many clients, and when they come to me, they tell me, oh, their child head is tender headed. They cry a lot when they get their hair done. And I'm like, okay. So once we go through the coaching and everything, we finally realize that actually their child isn't tender headed. But what was happening is that their mom or their caregiver was just being too rough. That was the issue. It wasn't that the child was tender-headed. And that actually brings me back to when I was younger. So when I was younger, my mom used to do my hair. My mom would think or thought that I was tender-headed. So even before she touched my hair, so as soon as I saw the comb or I got an inkling that wash day was about to start, I would literally be in tears. Nothing had touched my hair. My mum hadn't even come close to my hair, but just literally knowing that it's going to be wash day, I would be in tears. So my mum just thought I was tender-headed, and that was far from the truth. I hated wash days because my mum was just so rough. Now, she wasn't trying to, be rough on purpose or just be mean to me. She actually wanted me to enjoy wash days because it used to make her very frustrated that I was frustrated, and she didn't understand why I was frustrated. And the main reason was that I was in pain. It was very, very painful for me. And of course, mom didn't understand certain techniques, so she didn't understand how to take care of my hair in the best way where it wouldn't hurt me. So that's the reason why I would always cry, not because I was tender-headed, literally just because I was in pain. Adenuga, we do, hold on 1 second. We do for washing, but easier when plaiting because there's a tablet to distract. Amazing. Hey, Keisha, welcome. Yes, amazing. That's a good way to distract your child. Perfect way. Perfect way. Okay, so let's get into some of the reasons why your child may hate getting their hair done. But before we even get into that, guys, if you're struggling with creating a regime for your child, regimes are very important. If you've been watching any of my videos, been following me, you know I'm very big on having a regime for your child's hair. If you're struggling to create a regime, you don't know where to start, you don't know what components are needed to have an effective regime, don't worry, just click the link below this live session. If you're watching a replay, just click the link below this video and download your free guide. In this free guide, I tell you exactly how to create an effective regime for your child. Okay, so if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes, guys. Hey, welcome, coming in. Okay, cool. So the first reason why your little one may be upset or frantic or crying whenever you do their hair is because they are scared. They are scared. They don't trust you. Why they're scared? Because maybe they've experienced something in the past. Maybe they've experienced some kind of tension or pain that's put them off. So because they remember that and they associate that with, wash days, hair sessions, whatever you want to call it, it just gets them frantic because they remember what they have been through in the past. Maybe, you're not doing the same things that you were doing prior. Maybe now you have the knowledge to take the best care of your child's hair. But because they remember what happened in the past, whenever you do their hair, they start to cry. Another reason it could be maybe, for example, on wash day, shampoo may have gotten in your little one's eyes and that stung a little bit. And because of that, they're scared. So whenever they wash their hair, they don't like it anymore because of what they experienced before. So it could literally just be because of an experience that wasn't pleasant that's now making them scared or not making them trust you when you're doing their hair. So in this case, you just need to build that trust back. That's it. Build that trust back. Reassure them when you're doing their hair, whether it's washing their hair, moisturizing their hair, styling their hair. Just reassure them so that they feel more comfortable. Be gentle. Be gentle with their hair. That actually brings me on to my next point, why your little one may not enjoy getting their hair done. The next thing is that you are too rough. You are too rough. I spoke about in the beginning how my mom used to be very rough with my hair. That can be very off-putting for any child, even as adults. If someone is rough doing your hair, it's going to put you off. I remember a couple of years ago, I went to a natural hair salon. So they were doing my hair, and I kid you not, the way they were detangling my hair was a hot mess. I was literally in pain. I was in pain. They were being so rough, detangling my hair. They were also blow drying my hair, but there was just no form of working in sections, being gentle, taking their time, none of that. Did I ever go back there again? Never, because of that experience. So can you imagine if you are the parent doing your child's hair and they have to go through all of this roughness each and every time you do their hair? They're not going to want you to do their hair any longer because they're in so much pain because you're being so rough. So be gentle with their hair. As you're doing their hair, take your time. As I mentioned before, work in sections. If you're detangling their hair, make sure you're doing the detangling where the hair has some conditioner in it to give it some slip. When you're detangling, use your fingers first, start from the ends, working your way up. So use some good techniques so that when you are handling your little one's hair, it isn't in a rough way. I know a lot of parents don't mean to be rough. It's not like you're doing it on purpose, but trust me, if you're doing your little one's hair and they are crying, possibly you are being rough. Especially there are some parents who actually comb through their children's hair when it's dry. I've seen so many videos on YouTube, TikTok, where parents are literally combing through their little one's hair dry, combing from the roots to the ends. I mean, I couldn't even imagine that right now, someone doing that to my hair. I know for sure I would be in a lot of pain, let alone your child. So try to be as gentle as possible. Hi. Bear with me a second. Yeah, try to be as gentle as possible. I'm going to answer your questions in a second, ladies. Okay. And the next thing is no entertainment. No entertainment. When I say entertainment, something to take your little one's mind off of what you're doing. So for example, for my children, my daughter, for example, she loves having her doll in the bath with us when I'm washing her hair. So as I'm washing her hair, she's also washing her doll's hair. She likes to copy everything I do. My son likes to have like some of his toys. He has like toy trucks, toy cars, anything to keep him entertained. Sometimes I even get like, numbers and alphabets, and I stick it on the bathroom tiles. They just stick on the bathroom tiles. And as I'm doing their hair, I get them to, shout out the numbers to me or the alphabets back to me. And those kind of things. Even for my 1-year-old, she always has toys in a bath full of toys while I'm doing her hair as well, just to keep them occupied. Someone even mentioned having like a tablet or an iPad. Great. If you can put it somewhere safe where it isn't going to fall in your bath or your shower, perfect. Perfect form of entertainment. Also, singing. You can sing with your children while you're doing the hair. I like to do that with my children. I like to have conversations. So I talk to my daughter about school, anything that she's dealing with. She's going to be 6 soon. So I just talk to her, have a conversation. It's a time for me and my children to bond. I want them to remember our hair days and remember the times we bonded together while I was doing their hair. I want them to have great memories of me doing their hair rather than having bad memories. So any form of entertainment to get their mind off of what you're doing is always great. Okay, and the next reason why your little one may not enjoy you doing their hair is that maybe they are tired or hungry. Literally tired or hungry. You need to pick the right time when you want to do your little one's hair. Now, doing our hair can take some time. So if they're tired and you're trying to do their hair, of course they're going to be, um, angry, frustrated, crying, throwing tantrums. You want to make sure that they've taken a nap before you attempt to do their hair. You also want to make sure that they're not hungry as well. Feed them before you start doing their hair. And as you're doing their hair, also give them some snacks. Snacks are important, especially for kids that get bored while you do their hair. Give them some snacks as well, particularly when you're out of the bath, of course, or shower. Give them some snacks to have. Make sure they are not hungry. That way you're able to get through any hair sessions much more easier than doing it when they are tired or hungry. Guys, if you have any pointers as well, let me know in the comments too. Okay, so the next thing is that it takes way too long. Some of your I say wash day, it's not really wash day, like you're not taking a whole day to do your little one's hair. Well, I hope you're not. It shouldn't take you the whole day. Basically, when you're doing your little one's hair, you should be working at a suitable speed. Work fast. Obviously take your time, but work fast. Like, for example, with my 1-year-old, I have to work fast. She's only one. She only has, I don't know, a certain amount of concentration, and then she just wants to bounce. Like, she doesn't have time to be sitting there all day for me to do her hair, do it neatly, do intricate style. She doesn't have time for that. So when I'm doing my 1-year-old's hair, very simple, very quick, so she can just go and play like she wants to play. And make sure that her wash day isn't long. I just do the basic steps that are necessary for her hair care, and then I just keep it moving. So if you're doing unnecessary things in your little one's hair care, like on wash day, unnecessary things that are not needed, just take it out of their regime if it's not needed. Just understand what's needed for your child's hair needs and just do that. Keep it basic, keep it simple, so that you're able to get through wash day or hair days, hair sessions as quick as possible. The next thing is that you're expecting your little one to be perfect. Now, we're working with children here. We're doing children's hair. Your children aren't going to be perfect. Even my children, I mean, a lot of you guys comment on how well behaved my children are. And when I'm filming them for my YouTube videos, they haven't always been that way. I've kind of trained them to be this way, kind of like potty training, sleep training. That's the same way I see hair care. I've trained them to be that way. Maybe in the next live or a YouTube video, I'll talk about training your child to sit still and cooperate while doing their hair. But in today's live, I just want to talk about some of the main reasons why they may not like getting their hair done and giving you some tips to kind of combat that. But you definitely want to make sure that you are not doing anything like that, just so that you get through your little one's hair sessions quite quickly. Okay, now back to perfection. So you have to understand that your little one isn't perfect. They are children at the end of the day. They're not always going to be willing for you to do their hair. They're not always going to want to sit down still. And that's why we need to, you know, treat them on wash days or hair days, give them treats, talk to them nicely, be patient with them. Yeah, just take it easy. Don't be stressed. If you're stressed, they're going to be stressed. They feed off your vibe as well. So just don't expect perfection. However, just be patient, see it as training. As long as you are being consistent, which brings me to my next point. If you're being consistent, you have a routine. Children love routines. If you have a routine for them, you're being consistent, they're getting used to you doing their hair, eventually they will cooperate. Like right now, my children, my first two, they are amazing. They're not perfect because no one's perfect, but they are really good when I'm doing their hair. And that's because over the years, I've been very consistent. They know what to expect. Even before I even do their hair, I always give them prior notice. So let's just say today is Saturday and I'm going to wash their hair on Sunday. I tell them on that Saturday that I'm going to wash their hair on Sunday, just to prep their mind for what's going to happen the next day. You kind of need to just give your children respect sometimes. You're going to do their hair, so you want to tell them that you're going to do their hair and give them that time to kind of process everything and get ready for you doing their hair the next day. I hope that makes sense so far, guys. So just don't expect perfection. Be consistent, follow all those tips I gave you previously, and trust me, they will get better. They will become less crying, less tantrums, and all of that. Eventually you'll see that your children will be so used to you doing their hair. I mean, right now my 1-year-old, she is really good right now, really good. Before, she'd want to like get up, crawl about, move about, but now she's so used to me doing her hair. And I think what also helps is that she sees her siblings getting their hair done. She sees them sitting down still as well. So that helps too, because she can see that they're doing their hair, sitting down still, and just cooperating. She starts to copy them as well. So right now I can let her sit on a stool and she will sit down, not for too long, but she'll sit down long enough for me to finish doing her hair. And then she's going about her day. So she's really good right now. Okay, the next thing is praise. Like, praise your toddler. praise your child. When you're doing your child's hair, give them praise. Tell them that they're doing a good job. Whenever I'm doing my children's hair, I always tell them, look, you've done amazingly well today. You sat down still for mommy to do your hair. I'm going to give you a treat. So I praise them and I tell them I'm going to give them a treat as well for being so well behaved while I'm doing their hair. You know, some kids are always getting shouted at. I remember when I was younger, my mum would always shout at me, literally shout at me. Not that she was trying to be mean to me, but she was frustrated. I was crying. She just wanted me to just sit still so she can get through to do my hair, just so I could look beautiful as she wanted me to look. But of course, I was crying, and yeah, that just didn't help. You know, that didn't help. And there was never once that she said to me, you know, you're doing a great job, Novella, because I wasn't. I was always crying. But praising really does help. We all like to be praised when we do a good job. So when your child cooperates, or your toddler cooperates through, you know, hair sessions, give them praise, tell them they've done a good job. They're more likely to want to do that same good job the next time you do their hair because you've praised them. So guys, that is my tip for you. The reasons why your child may hate hair days and how to get them to enjoy it. Basically, let me go through it again in summary. First thing is, make sure that you're being gentle. Don't be rough to scare them or put them off you doing their hair. When you're detangling, when you're handling their hair, just be as gentle as possible. Yes, I am taking questions. In terms of entertainment, give them some entertainment so that they're not, you know, bored. Children have like very short attention span, so give them some kind of entertainment, dolls, toys, sing to them, talk to them. All these kind of things help with wash day. Make sure that they're not tired or hungry when you're doing their hair. Make sure that it's not taking too long. Any unnecessary steps, take it out of their regime. Also, another thing I forgot to mention is try alternative methods. If your child doesn't like to be in the bath or the shower while you're doing their hair, maybe you can lay them across your kitchen sink. In America, that's quite common, where you get your child to lay on the kitchen worktop, bent backwards, their head is bent backwards across the sink, and then you're washing their hair that way. If your child doesn't like to be in the bath or the shower, that's an alternative way. Like, find alternative ways that you can get their hair done if they don't like to be in the shower or in the bath as well. So that's it, guys. Okay, so questions. Do you have any questions for me? Let's go to your questions. Okay. You're welcome. So I am a first-time mom. Congratulations. My son is 3 months. He has dry scalp in the front. I've been putting breast milk there. Doesn't seem to help. He's also starting to lose hair. I don't know what to do. Okay, so it sounds like cradle cap. Around 2 to 3 months, you start to notice that they get cradle cap. The way you know that it's cradle cap is, one, for example, when you are washing your son's hair. So when you're rinsing your son's hair, you'll notice that after you shampoo and you're rinsing, you notice like a white film in that particular area. You'll notice that even if you rub it, it doesn't go away. That's a clue that is cradle cap. Also, with cradle cap, you'll notice like thick, dry, crusty flakes that kind of stick to the scalp. They're quite scaly as well, and they stick to the scalp. So you have to like soak that area in oil about 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes before you wash your son's hair. And then you need to lift the flakes off gently. If you soak the area effectively for a good amount of time, it should be very easy for you to lift off the flakes. If you try and lift off the flakes without actually soaking that area in oil, you'll find that he will lose some hair. He will lose some hair because the flakes or the dry scalp is stuck to his scalp, so it's difficult to remove it, and that will cause him to lose hair. So let me know if this sounds like something like this. Currently I wash his hair with baby dove and apply coconut oil after. So you need to make sure that you apply oil before. If it's cradle cap, you want to apply the oil before You wash his hair, leave it on to soak for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then you want to lift off the flakes gently. It should be very easy to lift off the flakes if you soaked it long enough. And then you want to shampoo your son's hair. And when you do that, eventually you start to notice that the cradle cap will go away. It takes time. Like for some, it can take a month. For some, it can take up to 6 months. Every child is different. But cradle cap isn't something for you to worry about. It's very normal. It normally happens because of an excessive amount of oil production, so sebum on your child's scalp. That's what normally causes cradle cap. So nothing to worry about. If you are concerned, maybe the area is bleeding or there's pus or something like that, then I would say go and see your doctor. But if it's nothing like that, nothing to worry about. Um, Okay, so when it comes to porosity, you don't need to worry about porosity, trust me. When it comes to children's hair, porosity isn't something for us to worry about. I know, like, you see on YouTube, everyone's talking about low porosity, high porosity, medium porosity. It's even something I used to talk about back in the days, but it isn't something for us to worry about. Main reason for this is because there's no accuracy when it comes to testing porosity. Like you see on the internet, people say drop some hair in some water. If it floats, it's this. If it sinks, it's that. All of that doesn't make sense. It doesn't even work. It's not accurate. When it comes to porosity, you can have more than one porosity on your head. You know, the older the hair gets, or towards the ends of the hair, it becomes higher porosity. Towards the roots, lower porosity, for example. There's no real accurate way of testing your child's porosity or even your porosity. The only way that is scientifically proven to test porosity is by gas absorption, and that can only be done in a lab. Very expensive machine. We don't have access to it. So that way, there's no accurate way of us even testing our porosity. And like I said, porosity changes all the time, literally all the time. Anything can change your porosity. Even on one head, you can have different porosity. So I would say there's no need to worry about porosity. I've spoken to so many professionals out there. They say the same thing. Those that really need to worry about porosity are your hairstylists. Those that are bleaching, coloring hair, they worry about porosity. But when it comes to us, no need. The best thing to do is if your child's hair is dry, figure out why it's dry. You need to basically work backwards, figure out why it's dry, and then put a regime into place to meet those current hair needs. That is it. If you think about back in the days, who knew about porosity? No one. But there were still people who had hair that was thriving. Do you know what I mean? So don't stress over porosity. If your child's hair is dry, that's fine. We just need to figure out why it's dry, then create a regime, an effective one, to help to meet the needs of your child's current hair needs. Once we can meet their hair needs, the dryness won't be an issue. And also, one thing to note as well when it comes to dryness isn't necessarily a bad thing. Naturally, our hair is dry. Naturally, that's how God made our hair. Our hair is dry naturally, and the main reason for this is because of our kinks and coils. The oil production from our scalp, our sebum, isn't able to pass down freely. So if you see like Caucasian people, for example, those that have straight hair, they're always complaining of having oily hair. That's why they wash their hair regularly. And that's because the oils from their scalp is able to pass down very easily. Whereas with us, we complain of dry hair because our oils aren't able to pass down our strands easily. That's why we have dry hair. Now, of course, no one wants to have dry hair, but naturally, that's what we have. We just have to do things in order to not make the dryness become an issue for us because we don't want to have dry hair. But naturally, that's the makeup of our hair. We just need to put things into place to make our hair more conditioned, more smooth, more soft, to make it more manageable, pliable, that kind of stuff. Um, You're welcome. My daughter is 17 months, sorry. Doesn't cry or throw tantrums. That's good. She just swats my hand away or moves really quickly. Especially when I'm detangling or trying to plait. I've tried most of your tips. Okay, so 17 months, still quite young. I would say don't give up. At least she's not crying or throwing tantrums. If she just moves your hands away, I mean, that's normal. She's just a child, right? She can't actually tell you why. But I would say don't try and do too much. If you're doing all of the tips that I've mentioned, just continue doing the same things. Make sure that you're not being rough. Make sure she has loads of entertainment, a tablet, even your phone, for example. Over time, you will notice that she'll get better. For example, my 1-year-old, sometimes she flings my hand away as well. It's just something that they do, but I still get through it. Just see it as training. Like I mentioned earlier, when I don't know if you were here from the start, but I mentioned that you need to see this as training. You doing their hair, like sleep training, potty training. In the beginning, it seems like they're never going to get it, or they're never going to, be perfect like we want them to when it comes to potty training, sleep training. But eventually, they do get the message. Same thing when it comes to you doing their hair. As long as you're not being rough, as long as you're doing all the right things, eventually, trust me, they get the message. Hang in there, be patient. Eventually, she'll get the message. Um, um, how often do you trim your ends and your children's? So I do it when my hair needs it. I don't have a schedule for my hair or my children's hair. I dust my ends quite a bit, but only when I feel like it needs to be dusted. So when I say dusted, I mean my hair is usually in twists, sometimes blow dried, and then I just dust the ends. I just dust my ends that way. I do that quite often, but like I said, I don't have a schedule. If I feel like my ends are a bit drier than usual, a bit thin, I find it a bit more difficult to detangle my hair. These are the kind of signs I look out for, example signs that I look out for. Same thing goes with my daughter, my son. Yeah, I don't have a schedule. So far, I would say my daughter, who's 5, I've trimmed her hair this year. I'll say 3 times this year. Last year, 3 times. The year before that, 1 time. So it just really depends. If a hair needs to be trimmed, I'll do it. If it doesn't, I won't. I don't just trim for the sake of it or on schedule. Um, you're welcome. Mm, you're welcome. Okay, any other questions? Mamas, ladies, papas. If you're watching live as well, leave me any questions in the comment section. So when it comes to conditioning your baby's hair, you want to start adding a conditioner into their regime when you start to notice their hair is becoming dry. So you might start noticing dry spots maybe at the back. Most parents notice dry spot at the back. So you notice the back section is quite dry in comparison to the front section. That's kind of like your cue to now add a conditioner after you shampoo. So you usually tend to notice that around 4 months. Around 4 months, you start to notice that, then you can add like a conditioner after you shampoo. Um, um, Can a 1-year-old use Shea Moisture buttercream? Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Shea Moisture, they have a kids line as well, which is the same as their adult Shea Moisture buttercream. It's basically the same. If you look at the ingredients, everything's the same. I think the adult one has some protein in it, whereas the kids one doesn't have any protein, if I remember correctly when I checked the ingredients many years ago. Double check again. But with the kids buttercream, very similar to the adults one. So yes, they have the kids version. You can use the kids version. The adults version, I don't know about the ingredients right now, so I can't really say. But from what I remember, the ingredients were pretty much the same apart from the protein. So I would say just use the kids buttercream, since they have the kids version. You could just use that one. You're welcome, Jen J. Exquisite, you're welcome. Um, So with protein, I don't use it for all of my children. I only use it for my 5-year-old. And I only do protein treatments on their hair once a month. And the protein treatments that I do, they're very light protein treatments. So they have hydrolyzed protein in it, usually towards the end of the ingredient list. So it's nothing like your Afro G 2-step protein treatment, nothing like that. Just light protein treatments once a month, and her hair's good to go. Um, When do you recommend to put conditioner in kids' hair? From the age of 4 months, or when you start to notice your child's hair is becoming dry, you need to use a conditioner. Basically, when it comes to shampoos and conditioners, just in case you're not aware of their role in your little one's regime, shampoos are supposed to cleanse the hair, remove any kind of dirt, oils from the hair and from the scalp, for example. As it's doing that, the cuticles lift slightly. As the cuticles are lifted slightly, the hair swells, the hair isn't as smooth. For some, the hair may feel rough, very stripped. So you use a conditioner afterwards to help to smooth the cuticle down. So the cuticle is the outer layer of the hair, by the way, to smooth the cuticle down, to make the hair feel soft, smooth and conditioned, and also to put back the moisture that the shampoo may have taken from the hair as you're shampooing the hair. So conditioners are very, very important in your wash day steps. So to answer your question again, when you start to notice that your child's hair is becoming dry, usually around the 4-month mark, because their texture is changing, that's when you introduce a conditioner into their regime. If your child is over 6 months, you definitely want to have a conditioner after you shampoo their hair for sure. Hope that answers your question. Um, yeah, so for my children, moisture. I focus on moisture. The age that my 3-year-old, my 1-year-old, their hair needs moisture, a lot of moisture. My 5-year-old's hair needs moisture. It also needs protein, but not as much. So I just focus on moisture. Yes, that's correct. And then when their hair needs protein, my 5-year-old, I give her hair what it needs. I basically listen to her hair. If her hair needs it, I give it. If it doesn't, I don't. But when she turned 5, that's when I incorporated protein treatments into her regime. But like I said, very light protein treatments. If you're looking for best conditioners or best products to use, I highly recommend you check out my Wash Day shopping list guide, my LCO shopping list guide. In those guides, I give all of my recommended products to use for children and for adults, all in that guide. All you need to do is literally just go to my website. If you click the link below this live session, if you're watching a replay, click the link below this video. Go to my website, www.naturallycrowneduk.com, and then you see my ebooks. go to my wash day shopping list guide or my LCO shopping list guide, and you get my full recommendation of products. Outside of that, I don't recommend products on lives or in my DMs, because I need to understand a bit more about your child's hair before I can recommend anything. So yeah, I don't recommend products this way, but if you do want some of my recommendations, just check out my wash day shopping list guide or my LCO shopping list guide. Link below this video. Okay. So guys, what are some of the tips that you have used to get your little one to enjoy a wash day? So some of the moms who have older children, what did you do to get them to enjoy you doing their hair? Any tips you can share for some of the moms who are going to watch this? Hey, Patricia, any tips that you can share for some of the moms who are going to watch the replay, or some of the moms who are on the live now, to help them out as well? Because we're here to help each other out. I've given you my tips. Do you have any other tips? What did you do to get your little one to enjoy you doing their hair? Sharing is caring, guys. Let's share and help each other out. Any other questions while we're waiting? Let me see if I missed anything. Okay. I think I've answered everything. Okay. How often do you wash your kids' hair? So with my first two, my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old, I wash their hair every 2 weeks. With my 1-year-old, I wash her hair, every week. So every week for my 1-year-old and every 2 weeks for my 5 and 3-year-old. My baby's edges looks like it's thin, and what should I do? I actually have a whole video on that. If you go to my videos, literally, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, I created a video on that, specifically talking about edges and how to grow your little one's edges back. Please, please, please check out that video, because there's a lot to say. I'm not going to be able to cover it all in this live. So check out that video for all of the tips and pointers. Toys. Hey, Jojo. Toys, music, snacks, and letting them wash their doll's hair same time. Exactly. Same method that I use. Wash day, guys. You just want to literally give them what they want. Snacks, toys. Wash day is the time where you want to just be extra nice. Give them what they want so you can get through wash day or any hair days. Petroni, I'm not sure I understand your question. Do you want to type that again, please? Yeah, exquisite. Please check out my video on the edges. And literally, I answer every single question you may have about your baby's edges and how to grow it back. I answer in that video with loads of tips. Definitely check it out. So for the mamas that are on the live session, you're welcome. If you missed earlier on in the live, I did mention my free guide on how to create an effective regime for your child. If you're struggling on how to create an effective regime, trust me, there's no need to struggle. Just click the link below this live, below this video if you're watching a replay, and just download your free guide. I literally explain how to create an effective regime with the exact components you need to create an effective regime so that you can see your child's hair thrive. Patricia, I could find out that Milo stays calm when she's fully fed all the time. YouTube. Yes, exactly. When they are fed, not hungry, and they have some form of entertainment like cartoons. Amazing, amazing. Um, Hey Jojo, I used to rush through, but nowadays, after all your tips and advice, we take our time with all the steps of wash days and beyond. It's a main bonding event, yes, and I think it's definitely a mindset shift. I've done a lot of mindset shifting when it comes to my hair and my children's hair. Guys, I haven't always been this way. I've had my ups and downs as well, just like you. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. But like Jojo's saying, when you shift your mindset and see it as a bonding time rather than, oh my goodness, it's time to do the kids' hair, like, oh my goodness, it's going to be stressful. Like, if you start to see it that way, it will be that way. But if you start to see it as a time to bond with your children, it can be like really amazing time. Like, there's so many conversations I've had with my daughter. If it wasn't for me doing her hair, we probably wouldn't have had those conversations, because her wash day, for example, lasts about, I would say, 2.5 hours, everything including styling, about 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours just spending time with her, just talking to her. She's telling me about school, telling me about anything and everything. I have time to, really listen to her, whereas all the other times I'm busy. I'm a mom, I have a business, I have so many other things to do, like I'm sure you do as well. And sometimes we're listening, we're doing something else, we don't have our full attention. Sometimes when our children are speaking to us, when you're doing their hair, full attention's on her. She's talking to me, I'm talking to her. Same with my son, same thing. I talk to him as well. So yeah, bonding, definitely. Jojo, by the way, how long does it take you to do your daughter's hair? Because I remember before, the amount of time used to be an issue for you. Is it shorter now that you're more experienced and you know what you're doing? You've, been practicing your techniques and everything. Do you find that your wash sessions are shorter than it used to be when you initially started? Low is little one. I do use that a lot. Sometimes I use that word. I'm thinking everyone knows what I'm talking about, so please forgive me. Low means little one. Or if I say LO, if I say LO method, I'm most likely talking about liquid oil method, a form of moisturizing your newborn hair. LO method. But if I'm saying your low, most likely I'm talking about your little one. Hope that makes sense. Um, so my hair, I wash my hair actually every 5 days now. Prior to this, I used to wash my hair every 7 days. So now I go between 5 to 7 days, but my hair definitely prefers to be washed every 5 days. That's what I've noticed my hair prefers. I'm actually going to do a video. It's going to be out this month on my full regime, what I do, what I use. That's been a requested video, so I'm going to do that for you guys and post it for you to see like my full regime. But I wash my hair every 5 days. Um, 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 um. Hey, how you doing? No worries. I was wondering, at what age do you think it's appropriate for first trim? So usually first trim around 2 years old. From 2 years old, you start to notice that, they're either getting split ends, a lot more single strand knots. You're noticing that their ends are quite thin, like when you do plaits or twists. When you get towards the end, you see that it's very thin. You may notice that detangling has become a little bit harder than usual, or you may notice that their ends, for example, are drier than usual. These are all signs that they need a trim. I actually have a trimming video on my YouTube channel. If you want to know like the method I use to trim my children's hair, check out that video. But from 2 years old is a good time to start. Of course, if your child is 2 and you haven't noticed any signs that they need a trim, then don't trim it. But usually from 2, that's when you need to give them their first trim. Um, Interesting question. For me or for my children? If it's for me, do you know what? Before, when I was having issues with my hair would only grow to my shoulders, maximum bra strap length. But now I am at tailbone length. I'm actually happy with my length, to be honest. Like I don't really care for length anymore. I'm more about the health of my hair. However, I do want to see how much longer my hair can get. But eventually, um, I'll probably just cut it, to be honest, because I don't really like my hair that long. Tailbone length right now, I'm happy with that length. My daughter, my 5-year-old, her hair's past her bum right now. Again, I'm happy with the length of her hair. I'm just still growing it out because I want to see, I'm just curious to see how long her hair can get, but I'm happy with the length of her hair. My son, his hair is past his hip now and he's 3. Again, for him, I'm going to cut his hair eventually, but I just want to see how long his hair can grow. But yeah, so if you'd asked me this a couple of years ago, I would have had a goal length. Right now, I don't. I'm more about health when it comes to their hair, but I'm curious to see how long their hair can grow. I hope that answers your question. Um, how do I do it? You know, I get asked that question all the time, all the time. The way I do it, trust me, it's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy. But I've had to become very organized. I've told myself that when it comes to our hair, it's something that I'm going to do. No excuses. I'm going to do it. Now, let me tell you this. Hair care is one of the areas that I'm most consistent in. There's so many other areas in my life that I'm not consistent in. And those areas in my life that I'm not consistent in, those are the areas where I'm not doing as well. Does that make sense? I'll give you an example. When it comes to losing weight, I've had 3 children. My body does not look the same, particularly my stomach. All of last year, I've been saying, I even started working out, but then I stopped. I've been saying I want to lose weight, but I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. Whereas when it comes to hair care, I have a plan. I have a planner. I have a planner. This planner is where I literally plan everything. This month, all of our wash days, moisturizing days, I've planned it out for the month. I know when it's happening. Um, I know everything. It's all planned out every week. I track what we've done. I make observations. So I'm very on point when it comes to hair care. So literally planning, organized. If I don't plan it, it's not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. So I make sure that I plan all of our hair days. I plan it and I stick to it and be consistent. And being consistent, I'm seeing results. So that's making me become even more consistent because I'm seeing the results. And of course, I'm a hair coach. If my hair is breaking off, my children's hair is breaking off, who's going to take me seriously? You guys won't take me seriously. You'll be like, you can't even grow your hair or your children's hair. Why should I listen to you? So that's another reason why I can't slack, because I have to be an example to you guys as well. So yes, even though I'm busy being a mom, having my business and all the other things I have to do, I still make time for it. One of my coaches, I remember my coach said to me, we all have the same amount of time. We all have the same amount of time. However, we all need to make time for what's important. We all make time for what's important. So I make time for what's important. This is important to me right now, so I make time for it. So what I'll say to you is that if you're serious about seeing results with your children's hair, then I would definitely suggest you putting a plan down. So pen to paper. If you have a planner, if you don't, I have a planner for you. Click the link under this live session. You can get your planner. In that planner, literally, is going to help you to be organized. This is what I literally use to be organized with my hair and my children's hair. So definitely put pen to paper, plan out what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. Yeah, and just be consistent. Be consistent, and you're going to see results. That's how I have been doing it all these years, basically. Um, It is so much shorter now. It's about 1 hour, 30 minutes. Oh, amazing. And this includes pre-poo, which I leave in for 30 minutes, deep conditioner for 30 minutes. We look forward to the whole process. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I was thinking that actually that with time you'll be more experienced, and obviously it will be shorter for you. That's amazing. Um Since following your tips, we've noticed that my granddaughter's hair no longer shrinks a lot after wash day and her hair is much softer. Thank you. You are welcome. Now, by the way, when it comes to shrinkage, shrinkage isn't necessarily a bad thing. Shrinkage is actually a good thing. So embrace shrinkage. If you see any shrinkage, that's a good thing. It's a sign of elasticity and healthy hair. So shrinkage isn't bad. So I don't need to think that shrinkage is a bad thing. But I'm so happy that your granddaughter's hair is much softer and healthier. Amazing. That's what I'm here for, guys. Literally to serve. I'm here to serve, to be here for you guys. That's the reason why I'm always here live once a month at the beginning of every month. That's the reason why I post my videos on YouTube, literally just to help you out, not because I'm bored and I don't have anything better to do with my time. That's not the case. I literally want to help you guys to achieve healthy hair for your little ones as well. um Do you remember her first detangling session took me 2.5 hours? I remember. I remember. I remember. And I said to you, Jojo, it does get easier. Just working your technique and you get through it much more quicker. And I know your daughter has high density hair, like she has a full head of hair. So it's amazing. You're down to 45 minutes. You're welcome, Williams. So, me and my family, yes, we drink a lot of water. To be honest, my children, that's all they ever drink. I mean, the only juice they have is orange juice, and they don't even have that often. Once in a while, I give them orange juice. They don't have that often, mainly water. Of course, we have takeaway once in a while. I'm not going to lie to you, but majority of the time, they eat home cooked food. So, I'm always cooking. They have what I cook for them. Yeah, so they do eat well, they drink well. And as you all know, when it comes to nutrition plays an important role in terms of healthy hair growth as well. So yes, we do eat healthy. um of course, I personally could eat even healthier. I'm not perfect, as I mentioned before, but yes, all of our meals are cooked by me, and we drink a lot of water. um Do you know what? I have never blow dried any of my children's hair. Never. Never felt the need to. Um, yeah, I've never blow dried it, and I've never really been interested in blow drying her hair. However, with my daughter, she's going to be 6 in May. I do plan on blow drying her hair for the first time when she turns 6. I will record it and I will post it on my YouTube channel, her first blow dry. But yeah, blow drying isn't bad. I wouldn't recommend blow drying under 5 years old. Of course, if you're going to blow dry your child's hair, make sure you're doing it the right way. But yeah, I've never blow dried my children's hair. But like I said, I will do for my daughter when she turns 6, and I'll record that for you as well. Um, mm, mm, mm. Let's see. What has been a game changer to tangling in smaller sections and a lot of rinse out conditioner? Her hair has a lovely elasticity and shine. We have achieved more than health over length. That's my goal. Amazing. And you know what? That is such a good point. And the reason why I'm saying that's a good point is because when I'm coaching my clients, I tell them, especially those that have high density hair, when I say to them, like, I detangle my son's hair in 20, minimum 20 sections, they're like, wow, 20 sections, that's a lot. And I'm like, it actually works out to be faster because I'm breaking it down into smaller sections. I'm able to get through it much faster. However, if I was to do bigger sections, it will take me even longer to detangle then working in smaller sections where I'm able to get through the hair much more faster and more effectively. So yeah, working in smaller sections. If your little one has high density hair, for example, so a lot of hair, smaller sections is your best bet rather than bigger sections. You're going to have to take time to really detangle that big section. If you were to split it, you end up getting through that section much more quicker. So yeah, that's a really good point, Jojo. Um, and a lot of rinse out conditioner. Yeah, rinse out conditioner is bae, especially if it has like good slip. Amazing. God bless you for being so kind and always ready to help. An absolute gem. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Trust me, guys. If this was something that I was passionate about, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to. Naturally, I have a lot of patience. As a person, I am very patient. And I think if I wasn't patient, if I wasn't passionate, and if I didn't truly want to help, I don't think I could do this. So yeah, what I do really matches my personality. I have time. I have time for people who have time for me. And I have time for those who need my help. I'm not here to be selfish. I don't just want my hair, my children's hair to thrive. I want your children's hair to thrive just as much as mine because it's possible for everyone. Do you know what I mean? It's possible once you have the education, you know what you're doing. Natural hair care is a breeze. It's a breeze. You're welcome. Um, I think it's healthy to have length goals for your children because it's a goal, but at the same time, be realistic. Like if you're saying, I want my child hair to be bum length by the time they're 2, and they have no hair right now, 2 years bum length, that's a stretch. But if you understand that hair grows about zero point 0.5 inches a month, which is 6 inches in a year, 12 inches in 2 years. So by 2 years' time, if your child was bald, had no hair, they should have at least on average shoulder length hair. That's an achievable goal because on average, shoulder length hair is something that a lot of us can achieve. Of course, some grow hair a little bit slower, some a little bit faster, but on average, if a child had no hair, by 2 years' time, they would have at least shoulder length hair. So something like that, if you understand like how hair grows or how much hair grows, in a certain time frame, then you're able to gauge better rather than just saying, yeah, 2 years time, I want my child to have bum length hair. That would be a stretch. So yeah, having hair goals in terms of length is good, but be realistic at the same time. And also understand that what you put in terms of your child's hair care is what you're going to get out. In terms of growth, you don't have any control when it comes to growth because their hair is growing anyway. In terms of how fast your child's hair is growing, you don't have any control. But when it comes to length retention, minimizing breakage, yes, you have control. So you work hard on minimizing breakage so you can see that length retention. So once you understand these basic things, you're more likely to achieve those goals because you understand the basics, if that makes sense. So for me, I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, my firstborn. I prayed. I said, God, I want my daughter to have amazingly long hair. In my mind, I never thought it'd be bum length. That was never on my mind. I kind of thought maybe like bra strap length. That was my mind because I'd never expected the hair to be this long ever. That wasn't ever a goal. But I've surpassed that goal. You know, she's way past bra strap length. I mean, when she was 2, her hair was past that anyway. So yeah, having goals isn't bad in a nutshell. Just be realistic. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna use the what is it called? Oh, I'm so bad with names. I think is it Pantene? Not Pantene. It is on my Amazon shop. So if you click the link below this live session, if you're watching a replay, click the link below this live session or this video. My Amazon shop, I have the blow dryer that I use for my hair. That would be the same one I would use for my daughters. It's the one that has the paddle brush attached to it already. You can't take it off. It's a brush blow dryer. That's what I'll be using for her hair when I eventually blow dry. So check that out. It's on my Amazon shop. I've been using that blow dryer for years now. I really like that blow dryer. Yeah, so that oil, I need to actually update that. That oil isn't available anymore. The owner doesn't sell that oil, which is the Haitian castor oil. She doesn't sell that oil anymore, and I don't know where to get that oil anymore. So yeah, she doesn't sell that anymore. Oh, I call my website. Oh, is it the olive oil? Let me know. Is it the olive oil? Someone purchased the olive oil recently from their website. The Revlon, that's it. Pantene. So I'm thinking about shampoo. Revlon, that's it. The Revlon blow dryer. That's the one. Your son's wash day videos are holy grail. Watch how you moisturize his hair. His hair, my daughter's hair, very similar. Okay. More videos featuring your son before you cut it off. Yes, yes. What other videos would you like to see? Let me know with him. Yeah, I definitely need to do more videos before I cut his hair. You're right. You're right. But even when I do cut his hair, he still will have a hair care routine. Like some moms think just because their son's hair is cut, they don't need to moisturize still or, you know, shampoo and condition. Just because your boy or your son has low cut hair doesn't mean his hair no longer needs to be taken care of. You still need to take care of it just so that, you know, it can flourish in its low cut state. So I'll be, you know, recording that as well, how I take care of his hair when it's cut. But definitely we'll be doing more videos. Let me know what videos you want to see with my son, and I'll be sure to record that for you. Um, mm, my hair struggled to grow outside of locks. My natural hair is so divine. We have a relationship and all the love, time, and care after cutting my locks. I have health and length. Yippee! Amazing. Do you know what? I've actually thought about locks. I've thought about locks many times over the years. But I think for me, the reason why I haven't got locks is because I think if I do eventually get locks, I just have a feeling that I may get bored and want to take it out. I may miss my hair in its loose state. That's the only reason why it stopped me. But I've always loved micro, is it sister locks or micro locks? The really small ones. I like that. I haven't done much research on it. I just like the look of those I've seen that have it. But I don't know if I'm brave enough to do it because it's quite a permanent thing for me, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so glad Jojo you're enjoying your hair and your daughter's hair. Okay. Yes, the olive. Okay, but I typed in a search bar and I see it now. Do you think I should order that one or just get extra virgin olive oil from the store? I mean, for me, that's the one I used for my daughter's hair when she was newborn, and I liked it. I hadn't ever used any other extra virgin olive oil on her hair. That was the only one I used, so I can't really compare. You can get a different one, but with extra virgin olive oil, there's a lot of fakes out there. So Akuma Skincare is a brand that I trust, so that's why I got it from that particular site. So if you have another brand that you trust, then by all means try another brand. But that's the particular one that I used, and that's the brand that I trust. So that's where I got mine from. Um, but glad you found it. You will like it. You will like it if you try that brand. Okay, ladies. So is that all your questions for me? Mm-mm-mm. Does my hair tend to get dry in the winter and children's hair? No, actually. This is a question I get asked quite a lot. Like, in the winter, like, should I change my regime? If you've been taking care of your hair throughout the seasons, wintertime, your hair will be fine. My children's hair, I don't need to do anything extra to it. I still wash it the same way every 2 weeks. I still moisturize it, the same way once a week. I don't change anything. And their hair doesn't feel drier. It actually feels amazing. Their hair is moisturized. It's still thriving. Like I've never had an issue with their hair being dry in the wintertime. And I really think it's because most of the time I'm consistent with their regime and their hair is always been done. So wintertime it isn't really a big deal for us. I know there's some, that experience dryness. Yes, some will. But what I would say is that if you're doing all the right things throughout the seasons, wintertime, your child's hair still should be okay. If you do find that, in a wintertime, maybe your little one's hair's a little bit more drier, maybe you need to use something a bit more thicker. Some like to do that in the wintertime. Maybe if they were using a lighter butter or oil as a sealant, they go for something heavier. Or maybe if they were using a lighter, leave-in conditioner or cream, maybe they go for something heavier. Others do that and it works perfectly fine. Just go by your child's hair needs. But for me personally, my hair, my children's hair, there's not much of a difference in the wintertime, to be honest. Of course, in the wintertime, I don't leave my hair out as much when I'm going out. I do that more summertime, wintertime. Um, I'll do like buns. I like to wear my like turban wraps quite a lot of the time when I'm taking my kids to school. So my hair is protected more in the wintertime. Um, but yeah, no, no. How about if you use a leave-in conditioner, oil, shea butter after washing to moisturize every 3 days? A leave-in conditioner, oil, and shea butter. You don't need to use oil and shea butter. And every 3 days, it just depends. Does your child's hair need to be moisturized every 3 days? If it does, fine. If it doesn't, don't just do it because someone said do it every 3 days. Like, what does your child's hair need? Um, Also, with the shea butter or the oil you're using, you have to make sure that it's suitable for your child's hair needs. If your child's hair is very fine, very sparse, like low density, shea butter may be too heavy for your child's hair. Some of you are using like castor oil. Again, if your child's hair is very fine, individual strands, that could be too heavy for your child's hair. Castor oil is quite thick in general anyway. Shea butter can be quite waxy depending on the mixture of it, what other oils are included. So yeah, it all depends on your child's hair type, hair needs, how often you moisturize, and what combination of products you use. It just depends. Thank you, Jojo. Same here. So with my daughter, she's my firstborn, so I'm talking about her right now. So I started deep conditioning her hair when she was 2. When she was 2 years old, I started deep conditioning. Have I heard of the LOCO method? I haven't, but I'm assuming it's liquid, oil, cream, oil. Yeah, I mean, if that's what it is, I don't really see the point in that, to be honest. I mean, liquid and then adding an oil. From my understanding, oils are sealants. They create a barrier on the hair. So if you add in an oil, you've created a barrier already. Then you add the cream. The cream's going to sit on top. Then you add the oil again. I don't really understand that. Just like the LOC method, it works amazing for a lot of people. For me, I don't really understand that method because, again, your oils and butters are sealants. They're supposed to go last to seal in that moisture. And when I say seal, I don't mean like gives a permanent seal. The moisture will still evaporate at some point. You're going to need to top up on that moisture. Um, but the oil creates a film, an oily film on the strands to slow down the evaporation of moisture and oil from the hair. So if you're applying that before the cream and then you're putting a cream on top, that kind of defeats the purpose for me. So yeah, I personally wouldn't do that method. It's too much for me. But again, if it works for some, amazing. Like, I'm not here to mock anyone or say, don't do this or do this. I always say, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, fine, try something else. But for me, when I do something, I like to understand the logic behind it. If it makes sense for me, I would do it. If it works for me, I would do it. If it doesn't, I'll just park it to one side. And also, depending on your hair type, this could be like too many layers. Too many layers, which is going to weigh your hair down. Our hair doesn't need that many layers. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Um, you're welcome. Yeah, I always say, guys, keep it simple when it comes to your hair, your little one's hair. Keep it super, super simple. Super simple, simple. There is so much information out there on the internet. I remember, like, I used to watch so many YouTube videos, and I would be so confused. Like, what method do I do? How often should I do this? Should I do that? Low porosity, high porosity, protein overload, there was just too much information out there, and that made me very, very confused. But when I started to actually learn the science behind hair and actually educate myself through like credible books rather than coming away from YouTube University, that's when things made more sense to me. So, like, I'm not sure if some of you are aware, but I'm actually studying trichology. So, if you don't know what trichology is a study of hair and scalp. It's a science behind scalp and hair care, and that's what I'm studying. So, and studying this year, it takes you much more deeper onto hair care, the science behind hair, the science behind, scalp health and scalp issues. So yeah, once you start reading certain books and attaining certain knowledge, a lot of things just doesn't make sense anymore. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. I'm all about simplicity and actually doing things that are going to get me results. And that's what I do basically. So when I am coaching my clients or when I'm teaching certain things in my membership, I keep it very, very simple. I only talk about the things that are necessary. Like, I know Williams J, you asked me about porosity. As I mentioned before, that's something I used to talk about. But after several research and several conversations I've had, and I realized that I was wasting my time, I just dropped that. So yeah, I keep it very simple, very, very simple. We have saved so much money as we spend money on quality products and use less. Exactly. Products are expensive. I'm not going to lie. I wish they were cheaper. But when you find like quality products and realize that you don't even actually need that much, trust me, your products will last. And also, when you think of like the actual types of products you need, keep it simple. Don't be a product junkie. Don't be trying all the latest growth product, growth oil this, magic this, voodoo this. Like, if you just keep it simple, basic products that you actually need for your hair or child's hair, you save a lot of money. Like, I've spent thousands of pounds. I used to be like a really bad product junkie. I'm even embarrassed to say this, but I used to be a serious product junkie. I don't think there's any product that I haven't tried. Old products, not new products that have come into play, but old products. I've tried it, been there, done that. And yeah, I didn't get anywhere with being a product junkie. So once you can just narrow down to the basic stuff you need, you save money, save time, and you actually see results from your child's hair. Yeah, cheap products don't last. Cheap products, you have to use a lot more of it. I found anyway. I'm not saying cheap products are bad. I use some amazing cheap products, but I found that the ones that are on the cheaper side, I have to use more. The ones that are more expensive, they're very rich, concentrated. I don't need to use as much. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that too, but yeah, there you go. So I'm hoping, guys, with my YouTube channel, these live sessions, and if you follow me, I'm just hoping that I help you to just simplify things and just focus on what's important and just cut out all the fluff. Keep it simple, stay focused, stay consistent. That's all of what I talk about. Like, I've posted some videos and I've gotten some responses from some people who don't believe what I'm saying, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not here for everyone to believe what I'm saying, but just try it and see what results you get. Try it. If you get results, fine. If you don't, that's fine. But everything I talk about and teach on any of my platforms is based on my current knowledge. As I've said to you guys, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything, but the little that I know definitely works and gets results. The little that I know, I'm always improving on my knowledge, always studying, always researching. As I said, I'm now studying to become a trichologist. Once I'm done with that, I'll be able to open my clinic and see some of you guys face to face, your children especially. That's a big deal for me in terms of education, and another goal that I have for 2022. So yeah, guys, I'm always learning, always trying to bring information that's as accurate as I know it to be. As I learn, I keep sharing. That's just me for you. Okay, ladies, I have had so much fun on this live as always. I'll be back next month. At the beginning of every month, expect to have a live session from me, beginning of every month. So if you have any burning questions, come to these live sessions. Let's have a chat. I'll answer your questions for you. Um, amazing. So, yeah, to become a trichologist, so it's 2 years. However, you can do it in a year, depending on how much time you have to study. If you have enough time to study, a year. If you want to break it down into smaller chunks, 2 years. So they give you between 1 to 2 years, basically. Some I've even known to have done it within 6 months. I don't have that time to cram everything that quickly. I want to take my time. So between 1 to 2 years, I'm giving myself a year, and I should be done, God willing, with my kids and everything else I have to do. But I'm giving myself a year, and then yeah, I could be a trichologist. Um, God bless you too. Yeah, so in a year's time, guys, I will be a qualified trichologist. Yes. Um, But I'll keep you updated on my my progress. Like I said, as I'm learning, I'll be sharing as well with you guys. Yeah, I'll keep you updated. If you want to know more about my trichology journey, if you want me to share that with you guys, I'm happy to share it as well. Let me know. Also, under my videos, whenever I post any videos, if there's a video request, let me know what you want to see from my channel. Any kind of video request, let me know, and I'll be sure to record them for you guys, because this channel is for you guys. I want to post what you want to see, what's going to help you, and of course what you're going to watch. So definitely let me know. But thank you ladies for being on this live. I hope it was helpful. Like I said, I will see you next month at the beginning of the month. Do a vlog. Do you know what? I don't know if I don't know if I can do a vlog. I need to practice. Like I've literally just learned how to sit down and talk in front of a camera. I'm quite a reserved person. You may not notice it because I'm on YouTube. I'm quite a reserved person, and being on YouTube, being on live, has taken a lot of me to do this. It's really taken me out of my comfort zone. So vlogging, I mean, I would have to learn how to vlog. I'd have to get a vlogging camera or something to help me. Like I need to learn how to do it basically. So once I learn how to do it, of course, I don't mind vlogging at all. I know, right, Jojo? I'm so excited as well. Nervous, but excited too. Nervous because those trichology books, no joke. Like biology, chemistry, it's a whole nother world. A whole nother world. It's taking me back to school, way back to school. But yeah, pray for me, guys. Thank you, Williams. Pray for me. Pray for me. But yeah, thank you guys so much. So I'll see you soon. On my next live. Have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in this world. And I will see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.